good day, guys, and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the last video, and let's get cracking and let's finish Bambi today, and let's see if we can what we can do about it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me on Facebook. With the greatest of pleasure, just fire away. All right, so you can see the picture is dried out, is nice and dry now, and some of our colors have kind of like faded a little bit. So what I suggest is what we do is we can either just go on with the sketch or with the coloring, and then we will come back and touch it up once we've done. Okay, what we're going to do next is we want to be able to do the leaves and then also do the clouds at the end, the clouds in the back here, and her little sleeves, little, what do you call this, her t-shirt that she's got underneath her dress, and her eyes, and this little flowers over here. And oh, that's not going to help me with my Apple Pen. And then, yes, let's see if we can, and then the hair as well. We finish her up today. All right, guys, let's start off with um, the leaves. What you can do is if you don't want to use a plate or whatever, and you do so happen to have one of these, Karen Dash makes these lovely little um, palettes for you can do the most divine things with it. You can let me show you. If you have the museum range or the super color softs or what any of those ranges, then you can actually take your pencil and you can actually onto the board. This is like enough surface for it to stick on. And then you can come in with your aqua brush, squeeze enough water onto it, and you can lift it from directly from your aqua brush. And it won't damage your pencils or anything. And you can come in here and you can then start filling these areas here on the leaves, like that. And then we can just fold these little leaves. Just be careful, the edges. One last one. We'll do some shading with it now with a different color. And there we go. So that can dry off now nicely. In the meantime, what we can do with the color that's left, we can also go back and see which areas need some touching up in our grass landscape part over there. The dark bits over here, which we colored, you can just go over that and just let them stand out a little bit more. The sun's finally coming up for the first time in days. We've had so much with the rain. That's why I couldn't finish the video because the rain just came down. It's such a so hard that you can hardly hear the what goes on around in the house because the weather's just cold and rainy and miserable. Those birds you can hear in the background is Hardydars, famous South African birds. I don't know if you get them anywhere else in the world. I've never heard of anybody seeing them. Oh, 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 oh. It's all I can hear. Big birds roam around on the grass. Okay, so guys, then you can let's just see what else there. That's just to bring in the touching up the grass on the background. If you missed an area out or lost some color while it was standing. You will find that some of your aquarelle pencils, the color doesn't last for very long. That's why I like the museum aquarelles. They are museum quality and light falseness and everything. Um, okay, so let's go on. What I would like to do is I'm going to take my Chrome Tech or brush pen that I've got here, and I'm actually just going to go in here and just create like, on the dark areas, um, just a little contrast. It's almost like the leaves are busy turning an autumn color. Then you can just go over it with your water brush, go with a fine, just work those colors in nicely with the rest. Make it look more natural. This gives you that two-tone, almost as like the leaves are busy turning, or they are turning. There we go. Okay, so what we have to do next is finish up her dress. So what we want to do is we want to do her sleeves and this little thing here at the back. What I would suggest you do is you can either create exactly the same with your pencils that you created with the same with her, what do you call it, her, the same way you did her dress, but on the sleeves as well. What I would suggest is that you just use very little ink, less ink. Just take it like there, let's just see there. Um, it depends on what kind of pencils you use again. Um, that should be enough. Let's see again. This is the orange. Yeah, apricot color. So let me just go back in there with the war machine. Going back to my orange. No, this is my yellow. And then you want to go in there with your red. You just want to, it's already a lot of color in there. Okay. And then what you do is you take your aqua brush, make sure it's nice and clean. And you just work those colors out. Careful not to go over the edges. Just go the same way that you know, the contour of the sleeves that's on the picture, and then you should be fine. It will give it that nice feathery um, look. Rich, fun, feathery, fluffy look. If you use too much water now, it'll just dry. Move out a bit. There we go. There we go. Just make sure you touch up the areas nicely. We'll go in here, the strap over his shoulders. We'll go and fix that now. Make it a bit darker. That looks alright. Then you can go and with your saffron color. Sorry, your aqua brush. Just give a bit of saffron in there as well. Again, I'm just taking directly from my pencil and my aqua brush. And there you go. That should do it. Oh yes, and we got her a little bit in a dress as well here at the bottom, that we just take your saffron color and you just want to apply the color there. There we go. It still looks a bit too light for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my, just dry my pencil, just dry my brush. I'm just going to go in directly with my, don't press too hard because you don't want to press a hole in your paper. I'm just going to go in directly and apply the color to the paper. I would suggest that you wait until it's dry before you just do what I'm doing right now. I'm strapped for time, so desperate times call for desperate measures. I think this needs a little bit of yellow as well. See, the blue that I've put in is almost not visible anymore. So I'm going to take the little bit of blue that I put into a dress earlier. I'm just going to add that little blue extra into a dress now. Or what I can do is I'm actually going to take my watercoloring palette or normal watercoloring tray with the cakes in it. Make sure your water brush is clean. And I'm just going to take the blue. Make sure it's the right blue that you want. No, it's not the right blue. This is a nice blue. As you can see, test your colors beforehand. Yeah, that's a nice blue. And you can just it's maybe too dark. Let me see if I can find a lighter blue. That's a light blue. Just slightly. I've overused it there now. There was a bit of a mistake, sorry. But you just take your water brush and you just work it in nicely and don't add more ink to it. Just add more, just work it in slightly. And it will soon disappear. Okay, like that. Also, what you can do is you can directly with your pencil itself, you can just go in and actually draw the lines in there, like you did with the like this. You can just go over it with your aqua brush when it's done, and then also see it. I like to take the same kind of blue that I've used some of it in here. This is that funny green. Um, it's number 181 from the Karen Dash Museum Aquarelle range. Um, and then I just like to do her t-shirt or her dress underneath her dress, this little t-shirty kind of effect or whatever you want to call it. Just color that in. It's nice because then these colors will be, the blue will pick up nicely from like the blue gets picked up quite nicely in the dress from those colors that you use or that color that you used in her t-shirt. So what I would suggest is that you just take your aqua brush thing, make sure it's nice and clean, and just work those colors in nicely. Those colors are blending in nicely there and around the arms, around the arms over there, and just work those colors in. Possibilities are endless, guys. You can play around with it all day long. You can use your own colors. You can, whatever dress you want to have. Don't follow my idea for colors or whatever. Really, it's up to you, your creativity. You need to be creative. Let me just get in here a bit. I just want to do these lines a little bit more. Please just take in consideration that your water paper is going to get like wet and soggy. You don't want to press a hole into it, so just be careful when you apply more water and more ink to it. You don't want to sit with a gooey, snotty kind of feeling at the back. Okay. Also, her eyes needs to be done. Now, what I like to do with my eyes for my characters, I like to take a yellow. You could say whatever yellow you've got, and I just like to go around the iris, or what do you call this area, the pupil. just create a bit of a yellow line around it. Then I like to take my pencil and I like just to round it like that. Creates that bit of mystery in our eyes. Then you take a darker pencil of whatever shade you want to choose, if it's a green or a blue or whatever color you want to make your eyes, and then you just go over it a bit. And also around the people, around the eye. Don't go in too dark. And leave it like that. We can come back and also see to her makeup and things a bit later. Now, the only thing that's left to do is basically just her hair and then the clouds at the back. But let me see to the clouds first and then we can see to her hair. Okay, because then we're done with the watercoloring. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to need to take your titanium paint. Excuse what mine looks like. I squeezed out too much of it the other day and I'm not going to throw it away. So make sure your water brush is clean. You can take a little bit and just squeeze it out on the side. And what you can do is you take your, this is the titanium white that I told you about. Then you can just take your brush and you can create go in there and create these beautiful clouds. Be careful because whatever you paint on this, over this, over it, is going to disappear in the background. Remember where your hairlines are. If, I'm just going to show you quickly. There's that line. As you can see, now it's gone. So be careful, it can be a godsend and it can also be a pain in the ass. But you can create your own clouds. That over the hair, Nicholas. And you can apply it a bit thicker. You can actually create these beautiful three-dimensional clouds. So a bit over. And over here. There we go. And you just work it in nicely wherever you want it. The white clouds to. And basically gives you that nice clean white palette or white background again. Because these clouds are behind the head, it doesn't mean they are gone. You can create quite a stunning effect with this titanium paint, this white titanium paint. There you go. And I like to go in like, as you can see, I like to go in a crisscross position because it just helps, makes the painting look almost like a professional painting. It depends on your how comfortable you are with using this paint, and you can create the most stunning backgrounds on any painting or any sketch with this titanium paint over your normal paint, but don't go overboard. Okay, that should be enough. I literally took a little bit and I took too much on my plate. So be careful when you do that you don't create too much. Like you can see, it's created this beautiful cloud formation in the back. You can even hear it back, you can just hear. Just work it in nicely. Sort of like the clouds are moving back. In other words, they are right here in front of us now, and then we're going to create this effect that they disappearing into the background. How is that? We're going to touch up the face now. Okay. And make sure you clean off your brush immediately after you use it with um, acrylics, because otherwise you're going to have a bit of a mission getting it off later. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is her hair. And I'm just going to wait for this to dry first, and then we can come back and do her hair. Guys, I'm just going to let this dry, and then we can come back and do her hair. I'll see you now. Welcome, guys. Before I forget, um, before we go into her hair and do her hair, I forgot to do the little flowers here at the bottom on the side. But be careful if you do that now. I think let's do the hair first before we do that, because if we're going to do that now, you might smudge it afterwards. So let's leave that for now. Let's just go ahead and do the hair. Now I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to suggest that we're going with our normal pencils. Now I'm going to use my Caran d'Ache Luminance. The colors that I've got here are, let's see, I just took them out of the box. These are 745, 077, 037, and 242. They're just four shades of different colors that I've taken for her hair. Now what I'm going to do is all these light bits in her hair, I'm just going to go over it with my light pencil. I'm not going to do the whole head, guys, otherwise this movie is going to be too long as well. Just go over the lighter parts. Over here. It's back. There's a little bit. Here's some. Okay. I will do the rest. And then I don't want to try not to make this movie too long. And then you can just go over it with the lighter shades into that. Into that. And then the dark shades. Blending them into each other like you go. You just take your lighter shade again. You go over them. And so you blend your colors together. You all know how to do shading, so I'm not going to sit here and show you guys how to do the shading. Let's go down and do the little flower keys. Okay, flowers, you want to make sure you've got a nice clean brush. Take your white acrylic titanium paint, and what you do is you just create these little flower keys at the end. You paint them on. Don't have to be perfect. Don't have to be a botanist or whatever they call them for the flowers. These little white specks on that side as well. There you go. Over there, over here, small flowers. Over here, small. Here's some more. Over there, some more. Over here. Over here, some more. Here's another one. And there you go. Guys, this brings us to the end of this tutorial. You can finish the hair yourself and you can see to it. Earring, you can always just take your golden yellow and or your yellow, and you can just color in the earring, whichever color you want to prefer. And yeah, you can just create a little dot there just to make this little but mainly you would know what to do from now on. I hope I have taught you something. If not, I hope you enjoyed some time with me. I sure enjoyed my time here with you guys. I hope you've learned something. If not, um, I had fun. Guys, thank you so much for allowing me to do this for you guys, and I hope you had a good time. Take care, look after yourselves, and be good. If not, be good at it. All right, take care. Bye bye.